Welcome to Hot Topics, Safety First, Realtor and Client Safety, live from Fabre Framework Studio. I'm Quan Rimmer from Star. And today for Realtor Safety Month, we're tackling two sides of safety that affect every realtor, and that's on-site personal safety and digital risk. From open houses and vacant property showings to email compromise and wire fraud attempts, our risks are real and preventable with the right training and controls. We have invited two partners who live this work every day. Weapon Brand for field safety and Mostro Cybersecurity for digital protection. In this corner of the safety arena,
Brian Anderson Needham, Weapon Brand.
Decorated U.S. Marine who has served as a sniper, platoon sergeant, and recon forward operator, the state of Ohio's hostage negotiator, violent fugitive task force specialist, and defensive training specialist, the architect of a statewide program adopted across the nation with 50,000 officers trained. He leads the Weapon Brand Midwest facility, the Combat Athlete Performance Academy, and brings real-world tactics to every showing and open house. Give it up for our guardian of situational awareness, Brian Anderson of Weapon Brand.
Thanks, Quan.
And in our digital corner,
Dennis Patino, most of the cybersecurity.
the master of wire fraud takedowns, the champion of plain English cyber, and the strategist behind baseline risk assessments, 24/7 SOC monitoring, phishing simulations, and Microsoft 365 hardening for real estate workflows. He turns technobabble into step-by-step action plans that keeps deals and client data safe. Here is the pride of Pasco County, your deal digital bodyguard, Dennis Patino of Mostro Cybersecurity.
Excited to be here.
Ready to run through a wall. Let's go.
Good. I'm glad. Well, let us get started, gentlemen. Brian, this will be my first question be for you.
Yeah.
Let's go over, you have a course, it's a Realtor Safety and Self-Defense. It's a CE approved course, actually. And it promises practical tactics for showings in open houses. Yep. What's the single behavioral change that reduces risk the most during a property visit?
So before we go into that, no, those are two separate. We actually have Realtor Safety for the understanding and awareness before it happens, and then into Realtor Self-Defense. Now you're in it, how to get out of it physically. But to answer your question, very first thing is that we provide them is understanding those common universal behavioral characteristics that maybe you'll bypass before a situation. We teach you up to those so you understand what a human does before any attack.
That's good. Dennis, in one sentence, what does Mostro do for a real estate office?
We protect and put everything in place so they have the top-notch security to be able to work and know that they are properly protected and not put any of their closings at risk.
For both of you, open houses now use a lot of those QR signs, landing pages. How do you place the signs and stands on site for visibility and exits? And how do you make sure the printed QR codes and links can't be spoofed? So first you.
For spoofed, I'd look right over to Dennis. That's anything online. I'd say that's his specialty.
Yeah, that's one of the key things is you want to make sure that your endpoints have the proper protection, that if you do scan something, that it's not easily where they can get access to your whole device.
Okay. And then for you, Brian, that part, where should they put the signs at for the visibility and exits?
Signs as far as their QR codes?
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously anything that they could see, but what I would highly suggest to them is make sure whatever they do have, know that that's leading right back to them. Okay. So whatever they're bringing, whoever sees that, whoever scans that QR code, good guy or bad guy, they're coming right back to you. So just be prepared for possibly unwanted subjects coming into that area too.
That's a good segue to in your safe sale insights. You teach agents to spot property vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
What top 3 red flags do the professionals miss when walking a listing for the very first time?
In and out points. Very first thing, walking in, even before you get in, just having a quick scan, looking to make sure that when I get into this place, even from the outside, is there another place? The second is once I'm inside, find that secondary exit. My brain already knows where I came in. I'm going to go out that way, but that secondary exit's going to be key. Make sure that exit's unlocked. And then third, find an unorthodox exit, even if it's, something, a rooftop that's over top of a porch, something that wouldn't damage me too bad if I had to get off of, a window I could possibly break. So finding that initial exit from the outside, that secondary exit once I'm inside, and then even that unorthodox exit, just in case something does go bad, how do I get out fast?
Would you suggest when you go to a house and you're about to show it that you leave the front door unlocked just
Absolutely.
in case someone is in the house trying to do you harm?
Yeah, and not only that, but when you
Like
first
open,
get there.
like
yeah,
open,
Yeah,
yeah.
not a bad idea. I mean, put it this way. We have our realtors and anybody in this profession, we ask them very first thing right off the bat, if you told somebody that you loved that you were going to meet somebody you've never met before behind a closed door, like you just mentioned, in a property you've never been to and you're going to be alone, what would that loved one say? I'd say you're absolutely crazy. And if you now added, you met them online.
Right.
Because you do. I mean, that's what they do. So yeah, to answer your question directly, keep that door at least accessible. And then the second that you believe that that person is now more interested in you than the actual property, that's when we start to have those red flags.
And also always allow the client to go in first.
Yeah.
Stay
yes,
behind them.
Yes.
Because
Guide,
then you're the
don't
first
lead.
to run away.
Yeah. Guide, don't lead.
Yep.
Yep. Absolutely. And know your property. I'm sure we'll get to that, Quan, but
Yeah.
know that surrounding, know that property so you can at least talk with some intelligence, even if you don't know it. Fake the funk. Talk with intelligence like you know where they're going, but I'm sure we'll get to that.
Yes, yes. So Dennis, what are the top 2 scams you see hit agents the most, and how do you stop them?
Yeah, it's the email spoofing. That's by far, and wire fraud. That's another big thing. I know that it's all the chain of command between the vendor management and stuff. So what we're seeing is a lot of agents are using their personal computers, and they're not really putting in enterprise level controls or protection. And a lot of times they're working out of like coffee shops or in using Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi, and that's easily where hackers can be sitting there and just get access to all your information, and you don't even realize that. So that's one of the things that we not only educate them on the proper way how to do it and how to have the protection in place, that if you do have to use that it's not easily for them to be able to get access to your most valuable information.
Man, during this Realtor Safety Month, how should brokerages measure their ROI on safety, incident reduction, policy adoption, phishing testing improvement, CE completion? How should they be measuring that ROI for both of you?
I would say on my end, the phishing awareness training and seeing how many of their realtors are easily falling for these different types of emails and scams. Now with AI and automation, the hackers it's even deep fakes. It's extremely easier for people to fall, and if you don't have not only the best protection and awareness for it, then you're easily vulnerable to these things.
If you're talking ROI, I mean, to get a good return on investment, things have to happen first, right?
Yeah.
Well, if something bad happens, if something happens to one of my realtors, what kind of wave is that going to create? That's going to bring in a lower ROI because now you have somebody that's out, you have somebody that's possibly injured, somebody that doesn't want to come back to work. So, the one thing we consistently tell people that are in charge of these companies, we're corporate self-defense. So, we try to hit people right with HR, the people that actually lead them. But you look at a brokerage or somebody that has a title company, come sponsor these so that your realtors are safe. They do get this because that's going to bring you, once again, they're more intelligent on it. They get more people in, they're more confident. That's going to show. That's going to help your ROI. It's going to help protect your brand, your company.
Yeah. I mean, you have this course, I think it's called Creating a Weapon Mindset.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
That course includes anti-stalking strategies and situational awareness.
Sure.
How can agents adjust their daily routines, the routes, the arrival, departure habits, social posts?
Yeah.
How can they adjust those routines to avoid being targeted?
Simple things. I mean, if we just sit back take 3 to 4 seconds before we leave a building, we enter a building, we get to our car, we leave our car, just 3-4 seconds just in our daily life, then that's going to also go into what we do on a job. You know, every day that we're going to a property, if you could just sit there 2-3 seconds, left, right, left, just scan, look for any anomaly that sticks out. If you operate on that baseline and something sticks out like a detour sign, follow it. You know, we tell people, you drive to work every single day, you could probably get there without even looking. But that time you saw that detour sign, you're turning that radio down so you can see better, right? As ridiculous as that sounds.
That's true.
But you become more vigilant. So if you could just start that every day before you leave the house, just do that quick scan, just get in the habit of doing that. And then you're going to start to pick up on things, which also then in turn deflects what that bad guy's seeing. And you may not even know you're in a bad situation. You're going to deflect it. They're going to walk away, try to find a different target.
What are like some common behaviors of someone looking to do some malpractice?
3 things. They're going to do 3 things literally every single time. They're first going to observe their target. They're going to identify that target. They observe, they position themselves to a better vantage point, whether it's across a parking lot or now you're showing a property and they're trying to get closer to you or closer to that escape point. And then the last thing they'll do is posture, physically posture. And that literally is what we teach that a predator will do 100% of the time. There's not a whole lot that's 100%. That's 100%. They will do that every single time.
And
Observe, position, posture. Go ahead, Devin.
No, just quickly to expand on the ROI on my side for brokerages is the reputational damage that that the brokerage can because if there's a breach, you legally have to disclose based off of the FTC laws, and that's where legal risk comes in, and your reputation is damaged if the news catches wind of this. So think about how many people are going to want to work with you with your brokerage after a post breach. They're not going to feel as safe. So that's something you should consider as well.
So tell me, Dennis, if an email asks me to change the wire instructions, what are the first 3 checks I should do before I even move a dollar?
For one, yes, that's absolutely. Part of the training that we tell the realtors is that first you should train your clients that we're never going to email wiring instructions. That should be the first thing, that if an email that comes in saying wire instructions, that should be immediately red flag, that everything should be done over the phone. So that's what we, part of the training, you really want to make sure that everybody knows that, because when at closing days, people are hectic, they're getting all excited, and then their guards are easily down, and that's where the hackers know that's when they should strike the best.
Okay. This question's for both of you. Just simple office rules. What are 3 easy safety rules every office should adopt? And 3 easy tech rules that they should adopt as well.
You want to go tech, Dennis?
Sure, on my
Or
end.
you want to switch this up, make it real interesting?
Yeah, right.
On my end, it's really the encryption. It's very important that most people are using, personal computers, that they don't have proper encryption on their devices, and they're not emailing out using encryption. So before, encryption used to be a pain in the butt where you had to put in special codes and everything. Now we have super advanced where I can send out an email encrypted, and you don't need a special code to be able to open it on the other end, and vice versa. And that would be a big time help to make it harder for them to be able to get access to your things.
What about VPNs?
That as well, but the paid versions, because a lot of times people use free versions, and then that's easily you can get around it.
Okay, that was 1. You got me 2 more. 2 more tech rules. Give me 2 more.
Tech rules. Also, let me see. I'm thinking the verifications we said.
Yep.
The making sure that that you don't leave clients' information unattended on your desk, like the open desk policies. Okay. And another one is a password manager and change of password policy, meaning that you don't just use the same password for years. Like you should be trying to change it and updating it every 30 to 60 days to update your passwords, and then having a password manager to help you do that, because we probably easily have hundreds of different passwords, and people just keep using the same 1, 2, 3, their last name or baby's name, something like that, just because it's easy to remember. But by having a password manager tool, it makes it easy to come up with some crazy elaborate passwords that could take AI over a year to break. So that's part of the things that we train and teach people as well.
Okay. Good.
So can I ask a question?
Yeah, go right ahead.
So when they give you those passwords, like the passwords they give you, and you're like, you could accept it or not. My fear is always if I accept it from another device, I'm not going to know it.
Yeah. And that's where one of the biggest things we shouldn't do is we shouldn't be saving our passwords in the browsers. And that's because if your computer gets hacked, all your passwords are on a silver platter.
Okay.
So that's where
I
it's
do
there.
that.
I
Yeah,
do that all
most
the time.
people do
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah,
used to
I
do
do
that
that
too
too.
before we got into this because you just see the convenience. Google's
good
like,
to
do you
know.
want to save this? You're like, yeah, absolutely. So, but that's it's all on your browser, and if you get hacked, everything is there. So it's very important to have that separate. There's still ways to make your life convenient like that, but having it separate in an enterprise encrypted password
What
vault.
about the apps for passwords? Do you believe in
The
that?
password manager,
Yeah,
yeah.
Because
Yeah, that's
what if someone breaks into your password manager?
Yeah.
Yeah, then that's where
Okay.
So is there something like an offline password manager?
Not only that, but you want to have the multi-factor authentication. Most people have that, but they put their email address. So if I got access to your whole computer and it says, forgot password or anything, and it goes to your email, then I'm easily in. So you want to have that as a separate, with a face authentication, a separate completely app to make it harder and many more steps that include your cell phone to be able to get to change passwords or get access to your password manager and everything.
So like through authenticator apps.
Yeah, exactly.
Google has one. I think
Microsoft has one. Yeah,
also.
those should be mandatory. So that way it's multiple steps to make it harder to get into your password manager.
Yeah, I hate using it, but every time I use it, I'm like, there's a reason why I'm using it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Brian, give me three
So
easy safety rules.
I'm going to give you 3 that sound so easy. I'm going to back it up with a little example,
Okay.
but none of us do it. Very few of us do it.
All right. Let
And
me
not
hear
all
it.
the time. One is just trust your gut. Trust your gut in a bad situation, in any situation. And I could back this up. One of my mentors, one of my trainers, he told me years and years ago, and I would hear him in these classes say, over 90% of people have a bad intuition before something bad happens, whether it's seconds, minutes, or hours. And I thought, man, not many people couldn't. But you think about it, if literally half of us, if it was really true even half the time, would you still believe in it? We'd still possibly not, right? We'd still think, it's just about. However, if I told all of us in here, 50% of us, 1 and 2 of us are going to win the lottery tonight, all of us would play it, right?
Yeah. Sure.
So we got to put those into perspective. So trust in your intuition because it is true. If 1 and 2 of us, if it was true, it's going to happen. Why wouldn't all of us believe in that intuition? The second thing, believe in what you see. When you actually see something, to back that up, how many of us have gone into a bad, seedy, sketchy situation, a gas station, an area maybe we felt a little bit off, but we made it out. We were okay. However, if all of us were going 275 down Route 275, your Interstate 275, and speeding, saw a trooper in the median, you saw it with your eyes, you saw that trooper in the median, what would all of us do?
Slow down.
Yeah. So the third thing is then act on what you see. Act on what you feel. If you actually, you let your foot off the accelerator, right? You hit the brake, pump the brakes. You did it to avoid a ticket. Why wouldn't you do it for your own life? And pass that to our kids, pass that to our family. When you believe in something, you actually see it, believe it. You feel it, believe it. And then third, act on it.
Since Florida is a permitless concealed carry, do you think all realtors should?
I could talk all day long about this.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think the permitless carry is a great idea.
Yeah.
I think in theory, it's a great idea. More good guys out there with guns. But the one issue is this.
Well, I mean for realtors.
Yeah, same thing.
Showing
For
open
anybody.
house, they're by
Anybody.
themselves, met a stranger online.
I think it's a good idea, but bad judgment. Only because if you take it one step further and just take that CWL class, just get a permit, that at least ensures that you get at least one class, at least one bit of education.
Yeah.
If I tell you this, most police officers get shot by guns. They get shot by their own gun. I can tell you a major department in our United States, I'm not going to say who it is, but they're in top 3 every single year for shooting incidents. Uniformed officer, open carry, badge and gun will hit their target 27% of the time within a 9-foot radius. And it's not because they're not shooting well, it's because they're not trained enough. They're not trained enough on weapon retention, how to clear stoppages. And if you're just carrying, permitless carry, and you have no training, that bad guy lives this life. The only thing that separates from you from him is air and opportunity, and he's going to take it. He's going to take that opportunity. So get the training, learn how to back it up, and even just one course will start to build that muscle memory. For those of us listening and those of us even in this room, if you think you're going to rise to the occasion, it's like a car crash. You're not trained for it. Get the training so you don't fall that far, because you will always fall to the level of your training.
And it doesn't even have to be a firearm. It can also be a knife.
Anything self-defense.
Yeah.
Anything self-defense. Just get your head in that right place. Just get exposed to some type of training to where you're now at least a little bit just inundated with something that you're able to do, or at least the potential for it happening.
Even pepper spray.
Even pepper spray. But now, little piece of advice, people that, for permitless carry, if you have over 2 ounces of pepper spray, you need a CWL.
Oh. 2 ounces.
So just keep that in mind. And here's the other thing with pepper spray. I have so many realtors that say, I don't carry pepper spray. That's what I'm used to. But how many times have they trained with it? How many times have they actually tried to use it? Is it expired? Is it even something strong enough to where it's going to not enable your attacker to keep going?
So get bear mace.
Get bear mace, wasp spray. And here's the thing. I don't want to downgrade anybody's thoughts on pepper spray other than this. Anything that you use that's outside of your hands, you're going to need training for. I was born with these hands. I carried a firearm for a profession since I was 19 years old. And I'm 49. I'm going to be 50 in a couple weeks. I know you guys are thinking I don't look a day over 25.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
But I need more training. And if I need more training, he read, just some of the things that I've done. I'm decent with a firearm. I need more training. And if I need more training, don't we all need more training?
Absolutely.
And just to answer your question about permitless carry for anything, it's still doing something that I didn't qualify for. So as much as you think, I'm going to be able to get to my gun, the second I pull that gun, it's not my gun anymore. It's our gun and only mine to defend. There's nothing but air and opportunity in between. If he's better skilled or luckier than I am, he's taking my life. So at least get something in there that's training. And whether, pepper spray, tasers, just get the training for it. But first and foremost, get the education on what to avoid, what to see and look for, so I know how to avoid it. Create space before anything. We tell everybody, get out before you actually have to close the distance on your attacker to cut their effectiveness and survive and get back to your family.
That's good.
And Weapon Brand can do that for you.
I do know a company. They're called Weapon Brand. And we do it all. Over 30 plus offerings. Come check us out, weaponbrand.com.
Dennis, give us 3 quick wins every team can turn on today to get safer. They don't need an IT degree.
Yeah, for sure. It would be the multi-factor authentication.
Okay.
Making sure that's multiple layers to be able to get into. If you're using a personal device, upgrade to Windows Pro, where it gives you at least enterprise level type of encryption you can do. And the same thing if you're using Microsoft 365, you should have at least the business premium license that gives you enterprise level protection for Teams or things like that. You should be using, if you do video conference, use Teams. It has more protection versus Google Meet or Zoom, and it all integrates, and it gives you that protection down to your cell phone as well.
Perfect. Brian,
Yes, sir.
you offer vulnerability assessments for home and office.
Yeah.
What does a pre-open house safety check look like?
We'll go right back to the beginning. Know your exits. We just talked about getting away. Just get in there and know, and don't just look at them. Point to them. Take your finger and actually point to that exit. Create that double cognitive to where now it's not, I'm making a note about it, even a mental note. I walk in, I look. When I point to it, I actually look. Look at the detail. Is it unlocked? How do I unlock it? Play with it. Play with that lock. Create that mental blueprint. So that's one thing. Just create those exits, find those unorthodox exits and secondary exits, and then pass that on to the people that I love. Even if it's not a property. If I could start to tell my kids, hey, let's play a game. Everywhere we go, we already annoy our kids, right? Annoy them just a little bit more and tell our kids, everywhere we go, whoever wins, they're going to be the first one to pick out the 2 exits. Then they're going to start telling you. Then you start to understand those exits. I walk into a restaurant, they point them out. All right, Dad, here it is.
I like that.
Create it. But to go back to your question, answer it directly. Go to that property, do a quick scan around it. Don't park all the way up by the garage. Back in if you can. Stay at the end of that driveway. If you can, park on the street. take a little look around that whole property, then go inside and what's inside. Know your surroundings. Know what now you're dealing with and how you can get out. Create space before you have to close it.
Perfect. We'll be back. We'll take a break, and we'll be coming back with Hot Topics live at Fabre Frameworks. Welcome back to Hot Topics live at Fabre Framework Studio. We're going to go straight to the hot seat. This is where the heat cranks up, and our panelists get 2 minutes each to pitch their services and show exactly how they'll help you protect your clients and you. First up, let's turn up the flames with Brian.
So, Quan, we got it's Realtor Safety Month.
It is.
We've got several classes already lined up just this month, but we do them literally every single day. We the courses that we have, Realtor Safety, Realtor Self-Defense. We even have classes specific to realtors that are now carrying firearms, or that want to carry firearms. We consistently say we're not pro-gun, we're not anti-gun, we're pro-training. But for those that we know carry or that have that desire to carry, we're going to offer safety and fundamentals classes for firearms that also result in getting their CWL, so they can actually carry that firearm with a permit and be registered to do so, and then have that education also. But consistently throughout the month, and every single month, we're offering situational awareness classes, conflict avoidance, de-escalation classes, active aggressor. Even if you have something that now you and your family are out and something's happening, how are you getting out of that concert? How are you getting out of that mall, out of that church? Anything that you do. So Weapon Brand, if you can find us, weaponbrand.com, follow our social media, Instagram, Facebook, and find anything that you want. We create you to become your own weapon. So it's not that we want you to carry. We just want you to be able to recognize, get out of it. And if you can't get out of it, we're going to teach you how to fight out of it.
Perfect. I love that.
Thanks, Quan.
And now it's your turn to light it up. Dennis.
Excellent. So the name of my company is Monstro Cybersecurity and Compliance. Monstro in Spanish and Latin stands for monster. We wanted to create a digital monster to help protect small businesses. So that's why we have the best of the best enterprise level tools, the same thing the Department of Defense uses. So I had to bring the best because everyone's business, it's like their baby. And you want to protect your baby, you want to protect your business with the best. So we have that, as well as the team. It's not like what we offer is not like a tool that it's on cruise control. No, you still need the human element behind it 24/7. So our team actually runs the cybersecurity for the Florida Department of Transportation. That's the level of protection and elite people that are monitoring everything we're doing for most of those clients. So we have the top tools and the best team. But if I came into a small business and told them how much it was going to be, nobody could do it. So as being the owner, I knew that I had to make this extremely affordable for a small business to be able to take advantage of it. And that's what we have. But what we're running into is we see that small businesses think, I've never been hacked. I'm too little. And they couldn't be further from the truth. Hackers are actually targeting small businesses because they know that they don't have the protection like big banks do, like big corporations do. They have huge departments, huge teams. So that's why we offer a penetration test, which is like an ethical hacking. It acts as like if you clicked on the link, a phishing email came in, 90% of the hacks all coming through an email. You clicked on it, they got into your computer. Do you know what they can get access to? Well, that's what the penetration test does. That is valued at about $5,000. We're giving it complimentary just so we can show you in black and white what is going on and for you to protect it before a hacker exposes it. So we're doing that. Also, you can find out more information on our website, mostrocybersecurity.com/Suncoast. And there you can find more information. And if we decide to start working together, we even have a special promotion for any of the Suncoast members of 25% discount off of our services. Our goal is to be able to expand and be able to reach to 1 million people protected.
Nice.
Perfect. Thank you both. You both survived the hot seat. You did great. You did great. Let's go back into some questions. Brian, your team highlights real-world instruction across law enforcement and corrections backgrounds.
Yeah.
How does that experience change how you teach civilian realtors to de-escalate or disengage safely?
Well, I mean, even though that's our background and all of our instructors have some type of experience, whether it's military, law enforcement, or even just martial arts background, it all comes from one place. And that's, first of all, serving people, helping people. They're there not to make money. They're there not to, make a huge name for themselves. They're there to help people understand. And the one thing that we're trying to make people understand is we're worth it. So as soon as you could somehow convey that to the people that we're training, we're teaching, and even just trying to touch throughout the world with our services, as soon as you can get that little bit of trust that they know, hey, they're here to help. It came from a good background. It doesn't matter what background you come from, military, law enforcement. If it's still there to serve people, you still have that expertise of finding out what that danger is, then being able to avoid that danger. And then if you can't avoid it, how to get out of it effectively. That's where that comes from. That's where that background helps. And the one thing consistent that we are passing on to our instructors and that I try to maintain is it easy to learn? Do you have to do it every single day to remember it? Is it easy then to retain? Is it something that I have to continue doing to remember it? And then on top of it, is it highly effective? The stuff we teach, even though it comes from a military, law enforcement, correctional background, it is easy to learn, simple to retain, and it's the highest effective type of training that you're going to get. And the reason I know that is because that's what I created for the state government. It's what I created for 2 businesses now. So, and it's working. And I challenge anybody to find something that's better. And if you do, then we'll change up what we do.
Would you say that some of it is based on Krav Maga?
Yeah, some of it is. We have over 10 forms in it, and it comes from mainly all from law enforcement, but still jiu-jitsu, Krav Maga. There's Muay Thai, force prevention. There's a ton of stuff that's involved in it. It's the things that you would go to I wouldn't even say a studio, a program that are the easiest things to learn, but still able to remember under pressure. And it doesn't take a ton of training. For instance, the one thing we consistently tell people is just get your hands free. Somehow, some way. It doesn't take a whole lot of technique to get your hands free and take your fingers to their eyes. And it sounds brutal and aggressive, but it has to be.
There's no rules in street fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It has to be. So
how much do you charge for something like that?
It all depends. I mean, we'll do something
The most
private
basic program.
Most basic program, probably $60 a person if they have a group. That's probably the least amount, but that's what we tell everybody. We'll figure out a way to help you pay for it. I mean, it goes all the way up to $1,800. However, we'll find ways to help you pay for it. That's why we always get sponsors. A lot of our realtor stuff is free, only because it's being sponsored by brokerages, title companies. But they're paying their way, the realtor's way, because they believe in it. That's also, let's be honest, that's also how they make their money.
Yeah.
So, I've dealt with realtors now for a little while, and I can tell you they love that money, boy. They love that money, and man,
you ain't lying.
and not only that, but if you're taking during that day, if you're taking time away from them showing or possibly making money, they don't want to do it. So it's like we got to find some way. Look, we're going to give you CEs. We're going to have this sponsored. Just get to the program, and it's going to change your life. It's going to change not only your life, but it's going to change your family's lives. If we could change one person, one realtor, one person, doesn't even have to be a realtor.
If you could just save a life.
Just one person, it's worth it. And what we tell everybody, man, is change one person, that's potentially going to change a family because you're going to pass that information. You change a family, that potentially could change a neighborhood. You change a neighborhood, you're going to change our community, get more people out there that have that knowledge. Because like we said, the bad guys are living it. And that's our community. This is our community.
Yes. Dennis, say one of our realtors clicked a bad link. What should they do in the first 5 minutes and the first hour?
They definitely should notify their IT person or person who's there to find out, what's going on, if it was contained, and to know what's going on, because it's, if you don't know, then and you just kind of just let every second counts at that moment. So that's the importance of having a true professional there, either it's in-house or external. Let them know what happened, and don't be shy, don't be embarrassed to raise your hand and say, hey, this happened, because like I said, your whole reputation is on the line at that moment. So that's very, very, very important to be aware and to notify immediately.
How do you know if all the time you click a bad link?
That's the thing. It's the scary part is that you don't know. That's
what I worry about.
Yeah.
It's and the way we've been able to describe this, it's not like you see in the movies where you click something and all of a sudden it's red lights and the alarms are going off. It's not like that. You want to think that the way I've been able to describe this, it's like a burglar getting into your house, but quietly hiding in the corner and watching, observing everything you're doing. Seeing what time you wake up, what time you take the dogs out, what time you have breakfast, when you go to the gym, when you come home, where's the safe, where's the gun, what time you go to sleep. And then they start gathering all this information, gathering for almost 3 months until they have it all. And then they can encrypt it. And that's when they can demand the ransomware. The ransomware average is in the millions. Why? Because they have everything. And then that's where you either decide to pay or you don't pay. And right now, the stats are, is that we're more likely to have a cyber attack than get into a car accident, if you believe that. Wow. And about 60% of businesses, 60, close their doors within 6 months of a cyber attack. And you think about it, that's crazy. That's more than 1 in 5, right? I mean, half. And the reason is not only about the ransom, because you may have paid the ransom, but it's all the legal risk that comes after that. Because I said, you have to disclose to all your clients that now their information is in the hands of the cyber criminals. And if you don't have the proper evidence, that's where the second part is the compliance of the name of our company. If you don't have the proper evidence, you are easily going to lose that lawsuit. Why? Because they're going to come after you for negligence. And if as a business owner, if you're handling sensitive information like realtors all do, and title companies, mortgage companies, all these people, and you don't have proper evidence to show you were doing anything right, that is a lawsuit that it's going to be extremely hard for you to win. So that's why we help that side as well.
And one quick tip too is, regardless of what the sender's name is, you should always check the sender's email.
Yeah.
Because on Microsoft, it'll say, hey, it's from Amazon. And then I'll check the email, and it's not at Amazon. It's at, AmazonPhony.com.
100%. Yeah.
And a lot of people don't do that. They just see the sender's name, and they're like, okay, this is who it must be. Mm-hmm. But 9 times out of 10 in phishing scams, I mean, they're not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And even to expand off of that a little bit, when you're at the public Wi-Fis, a lot of times you can see Starbucks coffee free. And then you're like, oh, that's got to be the one. And you click on it, it's free enough. And that could be a hotspot by a hacker. Gotcha. And you assume that's in, and you're in there thinking that you're on the, Starbucks, but really it's their hackers. So there's a lot of, important education and the tools to help you identify what's real and what's not. So.
And a VPN can help with that as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The paid one. They don't have to be right in there. They don't have to be in that establishment. I mean, they can be doing that remotely, right?
Yeah, there's now with AI, it's even scarier. So
wow, man. Brian,
yes, sir.
One of your CE courses focused on situational awareness, and it does cover meetings, open houses, and client screening. What's some pre-meeting questions or scripts do you recommend to reduce risks without scaring off clients?
Yeah, so there's, when we do our realtor safety, we talk about vetting clients, not just vetting the property like we've been talking about, but also vetting that client. And there are apps out there, Forewarn, we've heard of these things, all good stuff. However, just doing your own few extra minutes, hunting a fugitive actually isn't that hard because of social media. It's crazy as it sounds. And so many people tell me, well, my Facebook's private. Okay, well, is this a challenge? You know what I mean? So nobody's stuff is truly that private. And the reason being is if you don't have Facebook, well, your aunt does. And that family reunion that you have coming up, she's posting that you're going to be there, or you were there, or somehow we think that you're going to be there. So just as they would do that, as far as a fugitive goes, if we just look at, okay, vetting this client, not to call clients fugitives. However, if we just treat it as such to where I'm going to get a little bit of information. When that person calls, first of all, do they have an approval letter? Okay, they have a pre-approval. Well, now let's call the lender. Let's make sure that pre-approval letter is actually legit, right? Google the person. Do a real quick Google search. They ask for IDs. Most realtors will ask for that ID. That's the first thing we ask. What's the first thing you ask for? An ID. Well, why? Well, so we make sure they're talking to the right person. Well, do you see a picture of that person? How are you going to do that? You're going to do it through social media, through Google. Or when you see them, if it's not the right person, I don't want that to be a surprise. I want to know this person coming to see me doesn't look like this ID. And I'm going to do a little more homework. It just takes literally 3-4 minutes just to do a little bit of research. Use that forewarn. Use any app that you can come up with, but do your own. First, ask questions, those open-ended questions. And you're not doing it to interrogate them. You're just doing it to collect information that then could help you with the sale. You become more personal with them, right? That's part of your interpersonal communication skills. Understanding them, that's going to help you make that sale a little bit better. How are you going to do that? You're going to do it from what they like, what you see on their social media, what teams do they follow. Just getting to know tiny little bit of information. So when you bring something up, if it seems like they're blindsided by it, well, that might not be that same person.
Right.
So that's one way to answer that. Just basically do your own little research, have any app you want, but also, once again, back to the beginning, trust in what you see. If this person doesn't look like that person, trust in what you feel. If this feels a little bit off, I'm not saying close the sale. Just do a little more investigation. Wherever those red flags are, just investigate it. Fill those holes.
Would you suggest doing background checks?
I mean,
or is that a little too extreme?
Yeah, it's if you can do, if you have a way of doing it,
like a subscription.
Sure,
right?
That might not be a bad idea, but it's going to cost you a little bit, and that's also maybe going to throw up a little bit of a red flag to them.
Well, they won't. They wouldn't know, right?
Yeah, if they don't know,
because
awesome.
you have their ID, you just run it.
And if you could somehow do it, if you have the means to do that, obviously not a bad thing. But if you're not into checking backgrounds, at least check what's going on right now within their social media, what's on Google, what's provided. At least do that due diligence. At least if you know somebody that knows them, if they were a referral, ask that person about it. Yeah. Literally spend 5 to 10 minutes and just do your own little checkup on them. So if you could do it, cool. Background check, great.
Yeah, our Forewarn app that they get as a Florida Realtors benefit does do background screening.
Yeah. It's like it's a simple background.
Yeah, it's very
simple background check. Yeah.
But it does that due diligence for
I'm sure it'll show arrests.
Yes, it will.
There you go.
Yep.
But ask those questions, man. Just start asking questions. Just and they're open-ended questions. They're questions you already want to know as a realtor.
Right.
So just go take it one step further a little bit. When you get a red flag, just inquire about it a little bit.
I'll expand on that a little bit. With the cybersecurity, we have an architecture that is called zero trust. That is everything, meaning that you don't trust anything and you have to verify everything. And that's what all the tools, everything, the policies we have is based off of zero trust. Just because AI now it's so advanced that you don't, and something crazy, and an email can come in, it looks normal, it passes, and then it actually can convert after it's already in your mailbox. You think how crazy that is. Wow. So that's where it's so many layers of protection that we need to have. It's not just one simple thing, it's multiple layers. It's about 7 different layers that we have in the protection to help contain. So it's all based off of zero trust.
Man, AI
I like
is
that.
crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Training often puts people to sleep. So how do you teach agents to spot scams without either scaring them or wasting their time?
So our phishing simulation training, it's short and it's short and sweet, not like some long thing. It's a couple minutes long because, like you said, if it's in half an hour long, people are like, I don't have time for this. Yeah. But if you make it, and if you reward the person, and also if they failed, not make them feel bad for it. Just say, look, hey, this is what you missed. So people are encouraged to want to do it, and because we are the weakest defense is the humans. So all the brokerage, all the realtors, everybody, we are the weakest defense. So if we don't train our teams, then it's gonna get scary.
Yeah. Man, Brian, you emphasize the de-escalation and self-defense in all your trainings.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's some de-escalation cues that work best in those high-tension moments?
Just having let's back up. First, to talk low and slow. Just talk low and slow. As soon as you start feeling yourself start to get a little escalated, you can continue to remind yourself low and slow. I'm going to talk low. I'm going to talk slow. Okay. I'm going to make eye contact and engagement. Next thing, get your hands free. What so many people don't realize, and if you've ever been in combat sports, you can understand this. If my hands are up and in front of me, the whole world sees, if I'm showing you my palms, that's a defensive posture. They also see that. The bad guy sees that. But what they don't realize is that's actually an obstacle in between us. And we could do a couple of different things. You'll see it in the class where we actually do a thing where I move my hand and people will, with a fake gun with their fingers, not shoot through that hand. They'll wait for the hand to move. If you saw us ever do it, you'll see it, but our brains are just wired to avoid obstacles. So if automatically somebody starts talking, they're getting a little escalated, I bring my hands up, even in an inconspicuous defensive posture right here, it creates an obstacle in between us, which then they start to now think, okay, I either have to go around this person or start to back up. It's just an automatic, nonviolent posture that becomes now a de-escalation tactic just by using my hands.
And your palm strikes can actually damage.
Yeah, that's the next thing. If my hands are up, I'm already in place to fire back if I absolutely have to, right?
Yes.
So that de-escalation now also becomes potentially a weapon, which I think I mentioned. We make you the weapon.
Yes.
With Weapon Brand, weaponbrand.com.
I like that. I like that.
Is that the slogan?
Wait, hold on. Be your own is our slogan.
No, be your own weapon.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's it. Oh, wait, I'm off the hot seat, right? I'm out of my 2 minutes. Dang, sorry, guys. Sorry, Dennis.
No, this is a perfect combination.
It is, man.
100. Brian, and
I'm
then
sitting
with
here thinking we got to collab on something.
Yes.
We do Senior Shield.
Yeah.
And Senior Shield, anybody above 55, they're getting scammed like crazy.
Romance scams are
we
big
all
ones.
are. Yeah, so I mean, we do Senior Shield to where a lot of it is exactly what you're talking about. And you know, I sit here, I teach the class, and half the time I'm looking, they're bringing up questions, and I'm like, man, like I would get scammed by that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's crazy, man. Like the scams are insane now.
Yes.
And with AI, it makes it harder because, like romance scams, for instance, it'll be a video of like Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
And literally.
That's the one that happened in the news.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. And these elderly people are just sending money and money. And it's like their kids are saying, that's not Keanu. That's not Keanu. Right, but they're still paying. And now they're out, $500,000.
Yeah.
And they can't recover that money.
Or even the scam where they're getting you to say a simple word like yes. Mm-hmm. And now they're using that word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could expound on that. I mean, that's insane.
You can clone voices.
Exactly. That's the deep fakes.
Yeah.
And they just keep getting worse and worse. And a lot of text messages that come in and you click and this, that, and people think that, oh, I got a UPS delivery or I got a speeding ticket that I'm going to, and those are all, scams. So deep fakes, and that's one of the tools that we have, helps defend you against deep fakes and stuff. Wow. So this is
and it's always a scam. Anytime somebody sends you a link and asks for the verification code, they're looking to steal something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Listen, let us ask one more question. This one's gonna be for both of you. All right.
Yeah, let's go.
Give us 5 changes that they can implement this week that will make them safer, both in person and online. 5.
So I would say one is that the encryption of their emails, the MFA, making sure that they're using not the home version, the pro version of their Windows, the password manager. That's a big thing. And also, a lot of times we have so many apps or softwares on our computer that we don't no longer use. We need to delete those because if you don't, they create vulnerabilities, because if you're not updating those softwares or apps or whatever, hackers can use AI and automations to find those and then get into your computer, and then it doesn't matter how good your cybersecurity is if they're easily inside already. So this is important for you to know. If you're not using this stuff, it's outdated or whatever, just remove it. So this would be the best 5.
Perfect. Brian, give me quickly 5 in person.
I'm going to go a 5 from something specific.
Okay.
Our own homes. How do we protect our own homes? First, yes, I see the gun motion. But before that, just a few simple things.
Okay.
1, how long is the screw in your strike plate or charge plate in your door frame? 36% of the time, somebody's going to kick in your front door. That's how they come through, and they'll do it with 2 swift kicks. You change that screw from a 1.5-inch screw to a 3-inch screw, it's going to take about 11 to 15 kicks. Then you have time to actually rack that gun that you're doing back there and get ready, maybe dust it off, stretch out a little bit when you start hearing that, right? So that's one thing. Next thing, trim your bushes. Trim your bushes around so you can see through and so somebody's not hiding in between. Next, keep your TV on or have lights that switch off and on when you leave. The TV, the whole reason I tell people that is because you see the light flickering. They don't know if you're there or you're not there. Some people, well, what about my electric? Well, I'd rather have my electric bill $2-3 higher this month, but my TV stays on. They hear the sound, they see the lights. They don't know who's there.
Even if you're sleeping?
Even if you're sleeping, keep something on. So they don't know where you are, where you're located, or they can't triangulate your position, even if they think you might be sleeping. You at least make them second guess. If you don't have a security system, go on Amazon and buy an ADT sign, stick it in your front yard. They're going to look for a few different things. A dog, they're going to look for a security system and lights. And those are ones that they're going to avoid. And one of the last things is, well, find classes. As a matter of fact, tonight, there's a Creating a Home Self-Defense Plan in Panelist Park that's free to anybody. It's at 6 o'clock, and it's going to teach you those things.
I like that. Perfect. Yeah. Well, that's a huge thanks to our powerhouse panelists for dropping some serious knowledge and arming us to fight fraud and stay safe in the field. The insights were hot, and the passion for protecting our industry truly showed. If you found value today, download, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications so you never miss the heat. More expert guests, real talk, and game-changing tips are coming your way. This is your host signing off from Fabre Framework Studio. Until next time, keep pushing boundaries, delivering value, stay protected, and standing out like the star you are.